Right? So let's explore a little more what is happening. Nico, you said we don't have any space for high-profile companies. Amsterdam and Utrecht also filled up. I'm not sure if it is a matter of just having space. If I have the suppression, the thought that it might be a matter of scale, I really mean that Utrecht has 350,000 inhabitants, and they're also full, but they have a highly professional municipality. They have a lot of headquarters. They are attractive for people who want to establish themselves on a place where it is already very busy. That's a strange thing. Knowledge hubs are getting crowded, getting more and more busy. Why? Because you work with your head and you need a nice surroundings. What is a nice surrounding? Having good meeting rooms, having nice businesses like Plant, where you are welcome to show your skills. Knowledge workers want to meet each other. They want to sit above each other. They need only little space. So I'm not sure if it's just the meters you need. It might be just a matter of scale. Why are we so happy with all those international students? We know it's difficult having so many international students, but why are we so happy with them? Because knowledge doubles when you share it. Two things which are doubling when you share it. Knowledge and love, those two things. Share as much as possible and it's doubling. And that's why you need scale, you need large numbers. So let's have a look at page 6 of the handout. We will have a war on talent. Before the break, we discussed already in short Hungary, Russia, China. Young talented people are leaving those countries by the hundreds of thousands. And of course for us it's right now difficult to welcome Russian talent. I understand that because there is a war going on. But we can use them. They are well educated. They have often very relevant skills, technical skills, and we can use them. Putin is impoverishing his own country very much by chasing those hundreds of thousands of young people away. They are the capital of a future economy, young people. And what do you need? That you see there a series of points 1 to 6. It starts with having a democratic system. It starts with having a system where you should not buy your certificate, you should work for it. I often train young Democrats in Eastern European countries, in Bosnia, in Georgia. The first point every time is, we understand your point, but we are living in corrupt countries. We have corruption. In this country you have to buy your job. You have to buy your certificate. It is no use to start your own business because you lose your income for the next 2 years just by buying a permit to start a business. It takes years to start a permit. So the first thing you need is a climate which encourages hard work, non-corruption. We forget it always because we have so far a high trust society. So far we have a high trust society. As soon as people start to question that high trust, which is happening right now, we have a really serious problem. Really serious problem. I come back to that in the last part of the masterclass. So that's what we initially. Leiden has a point in working together with Amsterdam, Utrecht, Nijmegen, all those other, The Hague, all those other knowledge cities, pleading for good science, for public trust, for confidence, pleading against fake information. All those civil values are important for the economy of this city. That's where it starts. And then Point two, you need some kind of higher education or laboratory. I know some places who can do without higher education. Just one example, I'm sure only a few people have heard about Westerveld. This is a countryside area in a very empty part of the country. Westerveld is one of the darkest parts of the country. Very densely populated country, and Westerveld is one of the darkest parts of the country. And it's aging and it's sparsely populated. They do feel part of the knowledge economy. Why? You mentioned it's dark. What can you do when it is dark? Yes, please.
Astronomy.
Yeah, you can stare at the stars. That's what you even gaze at the stars. And what's that? They have one of the darkest places in the countries, and they gaze to the stars. And the Institute Gaze to the Stars is part of University of Groningen. And if you have observatory, you have an observatory. An observatory, you don't have an observatory just as it happens. Observatories are multinational corporations. So people get into this darkest part of the Netherlands from elsewhere in the country, and the observatory connects this Westerveld with the rest of the planet. And they discovered that a few years ago. And they said, well, now we are going to welcome them. We're going to the observatory and ask, what can we do for you? What can we do to get your visitors longer in our villages? What can we do to encourage them in picking up some kind of citizenship? So you need some kind of spark. You need some kind of spark to light the flame of a knowledge economy. Okay, all right. And after you have that spark, a reason to travel, you need young people coming. And knowing that young people are coming. That's the third. The fourth, it's nice to have jobs available. To have jobs until recently, Maastricht, beautiful city, great university, but students had to leave the city again after graduation because there was no work. So if you have highly skilled jobs and you have highly skilled population, employees, they attract each other. But somewhere someone has to start. And until recently, Maastricht was very weak in attracting highly skilled labor. So you see Maastricht is a very young city in terms of people from 20 to 25, and for the rest it's a highly aging city. After 25, it's very, nothing. After 25, for a long time there's nothing. It starts again with 50 plus. And point five, you need the material circumstances. You need businesses like plant. You need room for startups. And you need sport facilities. You need some kind of culture. You need some kind of fringe activities. Empty barns where people can put up their own experiments. And the second, was the last one, the sixth point, you need a welcoming population. We were talking about it. Not everybody likes students, not everybody likes cafes, likes noise, likes experiments. And you need a tolerant climate. You need a welcoming population. You need a population embracing that young talent, including the weird sides of that young talent. And one of the difficulties Maastricht had was that the university population of students did not mingle with the original population. It just did not mingle. There was no integration. So just ordinary civil integration of knowledge workers from abroad, eating with friends in their own houses. And we are not very good in that. We have to deal with that better. I'm not asking you when was the last time you had a foreigner for dinner, but think about it. We have a city of about 35% coming from abroad. And when was the last time we had someone of those 35% population for dinner in our own houses? That's the question all kind of cities have to answer.